Hello, Cube.
Sent this email out and we got double the calls this week. Double? That's a lot of work. Say no. Hello, Q.
Hello, Lord Anesco. Hello, Air of Rome. You changed the name of the stream. Sorry I'm late today, guys. I had way too busy of a night last night. Oh. Hey, Chloe. And it is super cold because I turned off my heater last night because it was hot yesterday because it's Texas, and then it's fucking freezing today because Texas, because consistent weather is just too hard apparently. So let me change some of this up. Chloe's good. She's lazy. Hopefully it will save that. Yeah, I think it is. Alright, so I think today I originally was planning to do like some other games and stuff, but I keep forgetting that today's like the 22nd of December, so I'm probably gonna have to leave a little early today because I still have a lot of Christmas shopping I need to do because I'm lazy and waiting until the last minute to do things. Did I make the emoji thing? No, I'll do that this weekend. The problem with streaming every day is that I stream every day, and then, because the reason I end my stream at 4 is because that's when I start getting visitors and stuff. So I have to, like, immediately go and do stuff, and I had a bunch of visitors yesterday because my sister had over quite a few friends, which was great, but, ugh. I stayed up too late yesterday. The good news is, this weekend I'll have plenty of time to do stuff, but these daily streams, I'm gonna have to get better at scheduling things. Han, that's just a bug. Or, it's not a bug, it's a mod I'm working on. Don't worry about it. Hello, Dimitri. Hello, Justin. I like my family. They can be a pain sometimes, but I generally like being around them. Hey! Where you going? Away, apparently. Don't get me wrong, I know I am very lucky to have a family I enjoy being around. That is not the case for many people. Why don't you do every 2 days a stream? That might work better. This is all an experiment. You know, maybe we'll end up doing something like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. But, hence the word experiment. So anyway, because I am a terrible person and have been waiting until the last minute to do a lot of stuff, because that's kind of my personality, I will need to probably wrap up early today so I can go finish some errands. So hopefully y'all can forgive me on that particular account. Not sure why I can see this. I don't have any... I'm only a defensive alliance. Oh, because I'm a military alliance with them. Okay. Oh my goodness. This weather is no bueno. I don't mind if it's cold, but I do mind if it's like both hot and cold. It needs to make up its mind, pick one. Alright. So it looks like I was going to destroy Stone Mine this turn, and then go deal with Thalendor, and then probably go wipe out Carrick Drawn again. It never ends. Can I stream on the weekend? I could stream on the weekend, but if I'm going to stream every weekday, I'm definitely not going to stream on the weekend. Hello, Sir Pancelot. Hello, Richie Alligator. Why do dwarves only use hammers and axes and never use swords and spears? Traditionally, it's because dwarves tend to have a mindset that all of their weapons kind of double as tools and vice versa. And also, dwarves seem to have a very... excuse me. There's a very particular fighting style that all dwarves use. And they're also very traditionalist. So, for whatever reason, the ancestor gods used axes and hammers for all of their efforts, probably starting off as tools, and then seconded them as weapons. And dwarves don't invent anything new if they do not have to. Like, that's not their personality. Did Manfred carve the skulls in the mountains, or who did it? I don't think that's necessarily a canonical feature, but if it is a canonical feature, it probably just... It may have well just formed due to chaos shenanigans. I don't think anybody intentionally crafted it. Alright, I'm going to burn Stone Mine to the ground. Get it out of our way. Ooh, the Silver Horn of Vengeance. That could be pretty good in the right army. Alright, I've only got 4 points left. So I need to actually think about this. So I could do Demon Slayer and Rune of Grimner. Or I could do Blade Master into Rune... I don't think I need Demon Slayer, because I already have Rune as rival. Well, granted, that's only weapon strength. That's not melee attack. I think I'd rather have melee attack against everybody, though, instead of melee attack just against Norska and Chaos. So let's put 2 points into Blade Master, and then on rank 40 we'll put 1 point into Blade Master and 1 point into the Rune of Grimner, and then we're... Ungrim is fully upgraded, at least in that sense. Alright, we finally have access to salt, so that's nice, I suppose. I'm pretty sure Cousin Okri can handle a couple of little vampire groups. So we'll go whale on them. Yep, we are doing growth, which is good. And we're going to try and get to a level 3 Grand Peak so it can have walls to defend itself as quickly as possible. Alright, we're still trying to assassinate a greenskin character, so I guess we'll chase this dude. How is everyone today? Hello, Joseph. Hello, Joe. I'm personally with Sir Pancelot. I've lived by myself a number of times, and I think it's overrated. I much prefer living with others, but I get lonely very easily. I realize it's not for everyone. There are some people who really value being alone. Okay. Hello, Izzy. These greenskins are being busy, aren't they? It's cold! No, Ken Mulder's still alive. I'm actually kind of surprised. Looks like Ken Skarier is dead, though. I wonder if Tilius somehow managed to beat them. Which, if they did, would be really surprising. Man, if they could take Varenka Hills and burn it down, I would be so happy. That would save me a lot of trouble if I could claim the entirety of Blood River Valley. Critical failure, of course. That is my least favorite grudge, and since you can no longer assassinate lords, they honestly should change it. Alright. We can almost afford getting a new lord, but not quite yet. Oh wait, I didn't move my cousin Okri. We want to cut off the vampires and try and lure them to attack us. Oh look, I'm caught between two forces. Whatever will I do? Hey, Tuco. Andre... Is it Andre or Andrej? Drej? Fuck off, Grimgor. Nobody likes you, man. How do I like Mortal Empires now? It's not bad. It still has, like, I'm playing it, which is more than I could have said for it before the Reprisal update. But it still has a number of problems, in my opinion. There's Chloe. Like, the auto-resolve issue is still pretty major, in my opinion, which they said in the update where they talked about Norska. They said that they were going to be working on the auto-resolve problems in this upcoming patch. I don't know if that means with the Tomb Kings or after the Tomb Kings. I assume it's with, since the Tomb Kings aren't coming out for over a month. But they said they were going to try and fix the dwarves having complete dominion over most of the map. I'm hoping that means they're also going to tweak the vampire counts and the Norskins, because those three are the biggest offenders. Like, most of the New World factions are pretty decent. Like, Skaven could probably use a little bit of a buff, but the others are pretty not terrible when it comes to, like, staying active throughout a campaign if the player never messes with them. But, like, I think in this campaign, the Norskins have already conquered the entire Northern Empire and all of Norska and Kislev and stuff, and the Northern World's Edge Mountains. Like, they own everything. Okay, so there's some vampire counts coming in behind me. This actually works okay because this map is so freaking huge that it's going to take those vampire counts forever to get to me. The only bad thing is this is up on a lip, so I'm not really going to be able to use my war machines because it's too high up. So we'll just leave them facing this way. Alright, and then we'll let our warriors kind of lead the charge here, and we'll follow up with specialty forces. We will put Norgrimlings kind of out here to try and catch a lot of people, because with their really solid defense, they can just kind of hold the line for half an eternity. And we've got our sexy Anvil of Doom now. I know a lot of people don't like the Anvil of Doom, but I really enjoy what they kind of did with it. It wouldn't have worked as a stationary model like it is in tabletop, but I actually really enjoy the aesthetic they managed to pull off with it. Alright, and then we have our ranged contingent as well. We'll just make them into one big group and start running forwards. And as soon as these ugly sons of bitches show their faces, we're going to start throwing shit. Get our slayers in. Get our Rune Lord over on this dude. Our slayers. There's something weird going on with the terrain there.
Attack the Orcs! We demand blood! Cattle! Iron breakers!
Alright, we'll just try and melt these groups. We want to try and get rid of these Graveguard as quickly as we can, because Graveguard really hurt and are overall fairly unpleasant. Alright, and axes and quarrels are flying, so that's good. And this Vampire Lord's getting pretty hard slapped by our Rune Lord. We can pop our Mess Reunification. Alright, I think they're out of ammo. Yep, so we can go ahead and charge in here. I love Norgrimling's Iron Breakers. Dwarves with the red aesthetic look pretty good. They should add more Skaven to the old world. I agree. There are a lot of things about Mortal Empires that still need to be tweaked. It's definitely not a perfect system yet. Like, if someone were to buy Warhammer 2 and they ask me like, should I get Mortal Empires or like Warhammer 1 so I can play Mortal Empires? I would say if you think you have any interest in multiplayer, which you should because the multiplayer is actually really good for this game, then yeah, I'd pick up game 1. But if you're like just wanting to play single player, I think it'd be much better to play the games separate than together. Because I think Mortal Empire still has a lot of just super annoying little issues. Because it's not like any one of them is game breaking, it's just that all of them put together are just a bit much. When it comes to stuff like the bug where like the AI tries to dodge artillery fire, which makes it super frustrating to shoot at them with stuff because they just take this super long path to get to you that's completely not helpful to them, and it makes it really easy to pick them off. And then there's other bugs, like obviously the dropped orders bug is still a thing. It's gotten better, but they still haven't solved it yet because, as they talked about in their blog post, it's like a multifaceted, huge issue that's gonna probably take a while to solve. Like I'm genuinely hoping that by the time Norse comes out, we have finally like moved past a lot of these issues and like have a nice, awesome, completed game. But I am still kind of skeptical about that. Just because Mortal Empires, I mean, the scope and the size of it is truly, truly unique and something we have never seen before from a Total War game. So clearly this is something new for them. And that newness is providing a challenge, which that's okay. Like, I'm not saying like I hate them or anything, or that like I think people shouldn't support CA. Like, I get it, and it's okay that it's taking a while. It just can be frustrating. And if someone asks me like, is Mortal Empires where you want it to be yet? No, it's most certainly not. What is my impression of the Tomb King's army roster? Please elaborate. So, from what I've seen of it, unless they release the official roster, which if they have, I haven't seen it yet. But from my understanding, what they've talked about, oh, one second, guys. Sorry about that. Someone just walked in. Alright. Need to mobilize to go after this undead army now. But, yeah, I haven't seen an official roster, so I'm assuming it's not out yet. But they might have released it today and I just missed it. But assuming there's not one, from what I've seen of the Tomb King's roster, the only thing I can think of that I have not seen is... I think the only unit I haven't seen during my time looking at stuff is the Necrolith Colossus, which honestly, if that was the only unit that was missing, I'd be pretty okay with that, because the Necrolith Colossus kind of fulfills the exact same role as, not the exact same, but it possesses a very similar role to the Hyro Titan, which we have already seen confirmed, which that was a pleasant surprise. I didn't think they were going to put in a Hyro Titan, honestly. The Hyro Titan's one of those units that was like super popular for tabletop Tomb Kings, but it also never had an official model release, which, you know, is potentially a really big issue. Let's see. So I'm glad to see that that ended up not being a problem, because that would have really bit if it had been. But yeah, I mean, honestly, overall, I'm really impressed with the roster, and I'm being completely frank with that. They have, like, it looks like it's a really solid mix of all of the different constructs, with, like, you know, all of your undead that you may or may not want thrown in. But, you know, one of the things I was worried about was that we were going to get a lot of undead and not enough constructs, but that's not at all what happened. It seems like we're getting plenty of constructs, and I can't imagine them leaving out any of the undead, because I have seen the Tomb Guard in the artwork that they put up on the website. You can obviously see Tomb Guard, so I imagine all the other skeletons are going to be super easy to put in, because it's literally just like copying the skeletons that they have in the Vampire Count army and just changing what they look like a little bit, which is pretty easy. So, yeah, overall, I would say the roster looks absolutely fantastic from what I've seen so far. The only thing I haven't seen is the Colossus, but I've seen the Ushabti with great bows, I've seen Sepulchral Stalkers, I've seen 2 kinds of Necropolis Knights on the Steam page. Like, it looks fantastic. So the end times is actually a good thing for Total War Warhammer rosters. I mean, the more units, the better. I think that's a fact. As long as they're, like, appropriate for the faction. Like, when they added Royal Hippogriff Knights, and Royal Pegasus Knights, and Foot Squires, and Grail Guardians, and Blessed Trebuchets all to the Bretonnian roster, I was not complaining. Those were excellent additions. Those of you talking about the dwarves, do keep in mind that, like, while dwarves are kind of a significant close combat faction, they also do rely very heavily on runes and just ungodly amount of shooting to make up for their lack of reach, so to speak. Also, dwarves in the lore are so tough and so stout and so well armored that they can usually take a full cav charge, and as long as it doesn't hit them in, like, the rear or something, it won't even break their shield wall. How many ogres were left after the mountains exploded? There were at least, like, at least a few thousand, if not tens of thousands of them left. Because they formed part of Grimgor's Wa, and they were a notable portion of it. And he managed to, like, destroy the entire eastern hemisphere of the planet, basically, before he got teleported to Middenheim. So there were enough of them left. They just didn't play an important part because Games Workshop wasn't intending on recycling any of them into Age of Sigmar. Like, they ended up making ogres into multiple factions, actually, in Age of Sigmar, which is nice. But they weren't interested in... they weren't keeping any of the ogre characters for Age of Sigmar. So they didn't invest in, like, exploring what they were doing during the end times. Because you have to remember, the ultimate problem with the end times was that it wasn't about the end of the Warhammer world. It was about the beginning of the Age of Sigmar world. So the priorities were completely all over the place. And it was painfully obvious that they didn't care about, like, making it as lore awesome of a story as it deserved to be. Like, they just didn't care about the lore that much because they were too busy trying to make their own universe. Which really bites for, like, everyone involved. At least that's my opinion on the matter. Of course, you can take it or leave it, but I feel pretty confident in that opinion.
I am the Slayer.
You better run, you fucking elves. Because if you don't, I'm gonna show you a thing or two I can do with this axe.
Very well. This may work.
Oh, he's actually blocking me from getting into my settlement. It's
One
rude.
rack. Aye, but the axe of Dargo demands blood.
Alright, we do want to finish upgrading everything we can. Fucking greenskins. Okay, and the good news is we'll be able to upgrade Grom Peak next turn. Which is a big part of our strategy, is securing the lands we do have. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and end my military alliance with these guys. Because it's proving to be a problem. I don't mind having a defensive alliance with them, but I don't want a military alliance with them. Because they keep dragging me into wars, and it's pissing me off. They have violated my trust. Do I think dwarves need their mass stat buffed? I mean, it wouldn't hurt, but I don't really think they need it. I think they just need better tools to punish players who try and game the system. Like, the Tormentor Sword's a decent start. I think it ended up being a little more powerful than they wanted it to be. But like the Master Engineer in multiplayer, for instance, has the Rune of Slowness, which I think is a great rune to use for that sort of thing. But the problem is it needs to be buffed. The Rune of Slowness is really garbage right now, and it doesn't do enough. Because it's supposed to lower their speed and charge bonus, but it's like negligible what it does. Why did Jacob send me a YouTube video? I'll look at it later. Can I do some lore videos about the ogres? Yeah. I will probably focus in 2018 on at least touching all of the races, because there are a lot of races that have little to no mentions on my channel right now, unless they show up in someone else's story. So that's definitely something I'll be looking into. I don't even know where this dude is. Like, I'm glad he likes me or whatever, but dang it, I should have marched. Because he's just going to sack and run away. No, he's not going to run that far away. Oh, he's going to attack me. Aren't you brave? Well, thank you whoever just subscribed. I appreciate it. I need to make a mental note to turn that off, because I think most of the people who are subscribing while I stream aren't actually watching the stream. They're just, like, happen to be subscribing while I'm streaming. Last Defender, you have to keep in mind that bows in the Warhammer Fantasy universe are weak as fuck. Like, there are no strong bows. Bows are, like, one of the weakest shooting weapons in the entire game. Just because of the way Games Workshop developed them. So that's why you don't see, like, dwarves wielding bows, because bows are less powerful than crossbows in this setting. Like, longbows have a longer range, but they don't hit very hard. And they certainly don't punch through armor very well, the one exception being Wood Elves. But in the Warhammer Fantasy universe, bows are terrible weapons. Like, if you're playing tabletop and you see your opponent has brought, like, a bunch of archers to fight you, you're like, oh, okay, well, this will be easy. Because unless you're, like, playing beastmen or orcs, unless you're playing a race that doesn't have a lot of armor, like beastmen or orcs and goblins, like, bows are an absolute joke. They are not based on our world, where, like, bows can actually hit with an alarming amount of force.
The action Dargo first. Satisfy the grudge. Glorious. More adventures.
Also, the dwarves in the Warhammer Fantasy universe just don't seem to like finesse-based weapons. They seem to exclusively prefer weapons that have, like, really that are very mechanical. Is really the only way I could think to describe them. But yeah, like so I saw somebody asking earlier today. Today will be a shorter stream than usual. I don't have as much time today as I normally do. Who came up with gunpowder? The dwarves invented it at one point, but if I remember correctly, Cathay beat them to it. I think Cathay is the earliest civilization that created gunpowder in Warhammer Fantasy. Let's slow down one of these groups so they can't outrun us. There are a few things better than catching Weight Watchers. Oh boy. We'll get our quarrelers to mow down as many of the ranged units as we can get our grubby paws on. Actually... my Dragonback Slayers can absolutely murder over there. To battle! Pursue what we can. I'm gonna go after this asshole with Ungrim. Fighting Wood Elves is just the worst. They just run around all day. You see, like, Ungrim dropped his charge order there. It's still a pretty prevalent issue in this game, which just sucks. There's just a lot of just really AI bugs still in the game. I was really hoping to catch his lord, but I guess it's not going to happen. No, even... Oh, wait, he had 2 Blade Lords. That's right, he had 2 armies. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Is everybody ready for Christmas? Y'all done your gift shopping or what have you? Why is Izzy a moderator? Because I know Izzy personally, and if he screwed up, I wouldn't mind... it's not hard for me to get in contact with him and deal with him. Plus, I have a solid amount of trust in Izzy's judgment. Any plans for the next lore videos? Yeah, it's a Carrick 8 Peaks focus. I've already been working on it, but like all things, it'll take time. Oh, we can finally get Greybeard to stop hating me. That'd be nice.
I must fulfill my Slayer oath.
Let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and focus Ancestral Grudge. Make him good at whooping up on greenskins. Alright, get out of my lands, Elf. Freaking hunters of Kurnos, just the worst. Alright, and for our last level, we'll take Blade Master and Rune of Grimner. And we are... Well, technically we're level 40, but for some reason it says 41. I'm not sure why it says that, but whatever. Alright, we're pretty powerful. We've got a nice mix of abilities. Pretty happy with how Ungrim turned out. If I had turned on this mod sooner, I probably would have had a lot more points to play around with, but oh well.
The Slayer in me seeks death.
So I need to get the Dragonback Slayers back. Baragdawa's bag is a mess, but it's a fixable one. Alright, and Grom Peak has finished upgrading, so I can do this. And then go back to... Ooh, we're starting to get some pretty high vampiric corruption here, aren't we? And then we want to focus on empowering the guild for... Actually, no, let's do Venerate the Ancestors. Alright, and then I need to run over to Mount Gumbad to quell the rebellion. The rebellion. Now it looks like the greenskins are starting to feel the heat from some other factions. And of course, Belagar has landed in the Badlands. Now it looks like Skarsnake's pretty well dead. Which is unfortunate. I never got to fight him, but it's just the nature of the beast. Alright. What about Greybeard's Prospectors lore? The Greybeard Prospectors? They might be based on a very, very small little lore snippet, but they are not, like, an active faction in 8th edition. It's just something that all of the dwarves in the Southlands and Lustria are just stuff that CA threw in. Those aren't actual, like, long-standing people. Oh, gosh. You know, it's kind of funny to think that the dwarves actually have made swords and things like that. It's just whenever they make a weapon they don't consider dwarvy enough, they just give it to the Empire. They're just like, here you go. Because all of the rune fangs are dwarven made. Alaric the Mad forged them. So many grudges. I need way more things. I actually don't mind the grudge where it's like, oh, an enemy hero has done something to you and we need revenge. I just wish it wasn't, okay, assassinate an enemy character. I wish it was just perform an action against an enemy faction. Because, like, if it was like, oh, you can assault units, or, you know, just do whatever you gotta do, then it would be so much easier. Alright, so Gunbad's secure, so I'm gonna wander back up this way. Or as secure as it's going to get for the moment. I still can't afford any of the stuff I want because everything I want is ludicrously expensive. But I can defend Baragdawa's bag until it's ready to go. What's my actual troop count out right now? We have 2 units that are under par. Let's go grab the Slayer Crown real quick. We can do that quick errand. We only have 2 units that are below where they should be, so this should be pretty easy. The only thing in this battle that really hurts is like that they have a ton of direwolves and cav, but I'm pretty sure I can handle it. Well, there are a couple Runefangs in the game. Plus, I think you can get the Runefang as a magic item. Nope, speech time. I love speeches.
Slayers, I see before me the Zangunas and its filthy minions. Even now, the vampire stands there, chanting filthy Umgi spells, trying to summon some abomination. It is time to fulfill your oaths made in Carrick Cadrin. Slay everything that does not draw breath, and if some beast does get pulled back to life, then I relish meeting it in battle. Now we move. Charge for the honor of all Cadrin. Charge for your king. Charge for the Slayer Crown. Charge!
I look forward to Ungrim getting his own faction so that his voice actor can actually get a good amount of like diplomacy lines, because I'm really curious what kind of bullshit that Ungrim is going to say for diplomacy. Alright. Shield wall! Kadoosh! And we'll probably scoot forward as soon as the fight starts. That way my guns can take the high ground. Actually, it'd probably be smart to put both of the Thunderers on the high ground. Then Quarrelers, we're just going to kind of spread out. And then we're going to put cannons up here. Roach throwers down here is just fine. I really need to remove the PK guard from this army. They don't really fit with what I've got going on. Alright, then we're just going to have Slayers just trash anybody that tries to get into my back line. I've got one Slayer unit defending this entire flank. It's going to go about as well as it looks. Forward! Yeah, they're almost certainly going to come around this flank. Ooh, catch him. Yeah, there we go. The enemy lord approaches. Here he comes. With his flying menagerie of just absolute crap. I'm gonna pull Ungrim out so he can go chase them if he needs to. Good hit. Man, I love cannons. I wish they were a little bit better in multiplayer when it comes to hitting flying targets. Like dragons. But, I mean, they are just awesome. See, is he coming after me? Nope. Going after my quarters. Come here, you son of a bitch. Alright, Ungrim will probably chop him into bits without hurting himself. Oop, wasn't paying attention on that flank. The dragon got dumpstered pretty hard by Ungrim. Come and get me! Nope, he's going around. Bring it down! Bring it down! Slayers! I really... You know what I wish they would do? They should give Ungrim a root ability. Like, that only works on characters. Doesn't even have to last long. Like, I would say even if it lasted 15 seconds, it would be enough that Ungrim could, like, hold down a monster and dumpster it. That would be a nice addition. Well, dead dragon. Now we just gotta go wipe out all the frickin' dire wolves. Good job, team. That's another artifact down. I think Thankful will start at Skavenblight on the ME map. Nah, it'll probably be Icky Claw, honestly. If they bring Thankful into the game, they'll probably put him with a random clan. I don't think they'll put him with a famous clan. Or a snare that goes active on hit versus large. Or at least a slow. Yeah. Yeah, Carrick Varn would have been nice to have, but what can you do? Woo! Look at all those buffs. Every bit helps. That'll give us a good ability to respond to dwarven nonsense. Hopefully the Beastmen can actually break Varenka Hills. That would please me greatly. So I could take it for myself. One thing I hate about Mortal Empires, the Take Anywhere mod, or the Take Anywhere ability, but like it makes sense and I like it with the suitable climates. It's just so frustrating when your ally AI takes a spot that you want and you like, despite the fact they're your ally, you don't get to issue commandments or anything. You just have to kind of deal with it. I mean, and there are ways to sneakily... Yeah, look at this. People ask what problem I have with Mortal Empires. Look at this map right now. It's just Varg. Varg, Varg, more Varg, vampire counts, more Varg, vampire counts. There are 2 factions dominating this entire area. And I don't even think we're to turn 100 yet. And the entirety of the Empire has been reduced to one small area. Despite the fact in this update he started with a full province. And this is all that's left of him. Ugh, it's just rough. No, Thankful does not lead Scryer. Scryer probably hates Thankful more than anybody else. Well, Skrull probably hates Thankful more than anybody else, but that's because the two of them have fought before. Is there a magic hat that tells you which lore you should learn as a human mage, or can you choose? You cannot choose. Your emotions and your natural disposition will usually have a notable effect on which of the winds of magic draws you in. When they find like young wizards as children, and they bring them to the colleges of magic, there's a series of tests they put you through to find out which of the lores you're most aligned with.
What brings you to the halls of my...
I will never be friends with you. You remind me too much of Norskins. The top knots are dead, and it's the Necrarch Brotherhood who's creeping north. Great! More vampires. Just what I wanted in my life. Ugh. As far as I'm concerned, they cannot put in the Tomb Kings fast enough, because at least Cetra will be down here to help deal with those scum.
It is time. My command is attack.
Alright, so we're gonna go mess these guys up. Yeah, this should be a massacre.
What? To battle.
I think we're actually gonna go ahead and claim Iron Rock. I think we're ready to expand just a little bit, and plus this is gonna get rid of my grudge.
To die in battle.
To die in battle. Alright. I don't know why the... I still have one more turn of provincial instability. Well, we're slowly getting some grudges struck out, so that's nice. We're making some progress, at least. Oh, I think I can afford one of the buildings I want. Oh my god, I can! Finally! Let's take... I think I want the Engineers Workshop more than I want anything else. Alright, and this guy's gonna go park on top of Grom Peak, so that I can continue to defend it until it's proper and ready. Alright, Baragdawa's bag is almost in a defensible position, but we've cut off most of the easy ways for Greenskins to invade us now. The Greenskins Empire is starting to suffer. Between Karak Azul, the Necrarch Brotherhood, and myself, we're slowly starting to put pressure on them. Is affinity to magic hereditary? Are mages allowed to have families? Mages in the Empire are not encouraged to have families? No. Oh man, I really don't want to fight the Widows, but all my buddies are joining in, so I guess we're joining in. No, wizards are not encouraged to have families. I mean, they can, once they've proven themselves enough that they're basically kind of set loose to kind of roam the Empire, and they only have to like report into their college every once in a while. At that point, then sure, they can get by with just reporting in occasionally, and that allows them to kind of get into making families and stuff like that, but they're certainly not encouraged, and magic can be hereditary, yes. Did Archon the Black have a mount called the Mortarch of Sacrament? No, he is the Mortarch of Sacrament. His mount, oh gosh, I don't remember what his mount's name is. But he got an exclusive mount in the end times, as well as The only other people who had the same type of mount as him were Manfred and Neferata in the end times. Hold on, I'm gonna kill this guy. But none of them seem to be receiving those mounts. I haven't heard anything about, like, they gave Manfred his zombie dragon, which I honestly would have much preferred if they had given him the, I forget what those things are called. No, they're not Abyssal Terrors. They're Abyssal something else. Fuck off, Grimgor. I'm not in the mood. Does anybody remember what they're called? I mean, I could go grab my book out of my closet, but I don't want to get up.
I must fulfill my Slayer oath.
Hmm. Brune Ricky.
Say so, beardling.
I'm not a beardling. Well, okay, maybe I... Alright, maybe I am. Now that I think about it for a second. Shut up, leave me alone. Ooh, that's not what I wanted. I kind of wish the vampire counts would go to war with the border princes, but it still hasn't happened yet. Holy shit, he has 4 Cygors? Yikes. Ooh, that's actually kind of spooky. Dread Abyssals. There you go. Good job, Undertaker. Oh, wait, Izzy said it first. Yes. Yes, the Dread Abyssal were like giant hounds, is probably the best way to describe them. But Manfred, Archon, and Neferata had them as exclusive mounts. And personally, I would have loved to see them get those mounts in this game. But they gave Manfred a zombie dragon instead, so I don't think that's going to happen. Archon does have a flying chariot, though, so hopefully he'll get that. In Tabletop, they literally gave him a flying chariot for absolutely no reason, and it's just as goofy as it sounds. Abyssal Terrors are fun. You never really saw them, and their model was super old. But it would be nice to, like, give vampire heroes the ability to ride them as kind of like a monstrous option. Dread Abyssals are way more exciting than zombie dragons, in my opinion. I fucking love Dread Abyssals. They look sick as fuck. They have such awesome models. Eltharian's Griffin does not have a Star Dragon stat line. No, 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 no. I can't remember what his Griffin's name is off the top of my head, but it's like a, I think it's a little better than a Griffin, but it's very fast is its thing. It's not that strong. Okay, I've been getting my butt whooped on Public Order, so we're just going to go ham on Public Order for right now. Okay, let's see if I can find a greenskin hero. No. Alright, before I do anything, I want to upgrade Grom Peak's defense network to be more in line with what I expect. Do 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 do.
The Slayer in me seeks death.
Alright, so this place is about to rebel because it hates me. So we're gonna wander up here and get ready to go to Barak Var. What other grudges do I still have? I need to raid Beckhoffen, and then I have 2 assassinations. Okay. Hey, getting heroes with the dwarves is such a pain. Stormwing, that's right. Oh no, the chat was back. Is Tomb King magic any good? Yeah. I mean, tabletop, they were one of the most magically powerful factions in the game. Because they have a ton of different units that can get them, like, bring in more magic. The Hyro Titan, the Casket of Souls, were both units that could generate more magic, and they also had really powerful bound spells. And then the actual Lich Priest had a number of items that gave them really powerful amounts of magic. The lore of Nehekara itself wasn't that great because it was primarily a buff and debuff lore. Which, I mean, it wasn't bad, it just wasn't awesome. So hopefully their version of the lore of Nehekara will be better. Buff and debuff magic in Total War Warhammer tends to be pretty strong. What about Bretonnian magic, lore-wise? What about it, St. Augustine? The Hyro Titan was never given an official model, but it had rules. Like, you could take it. I took them frequently.
What brings you to the halls of my ancestors?
No, screw off. Alright, the Border Princes actually should be able to handle my rebellion, hopefully, so I'm going to go deal with Carrick Drawn here and take it. Because I'm finally in a position to do so. We are making some headway, people. At long last, we're probably going to own 4 provinces by the end of this episode. Generic Edgelord, thank you for the donation, good sir. Do I think Malice Darkblade will ever come out as DLC or free DLC for the Dark Elves? Also, what's your opinion on the no naval battles in Warhammer 2? I do think Malice Darkblade will come out for the game eventually. I think he's too popular not to come out. I think I could easily see Games Workshop pushing for him to get put in the game. Just because that allows them to sell more novels, and that's all they care about. Oops, forgot about my thing. So I definitely see that being a thing. As for the no naval combat, here's the thing. I do not begrudge them for not adding in, like, actual naval combat, because the amount of effort that would take is probably astronomical. And, like, I mean, look at the way Mortal Empires is right now. I don't want to sound, like, rude about it, but it's, like, struggling to function. Could you imagine if they had put in an entire new battle mode where all of the, 10 races we have right now, almost 11 races, would have to have, or no, we're almost to 13 races, where all of the races in the game would have to have their own unique ships and sea monsters and all that other garbage? Like, it sounds impossible. So, obviously, it just wasn't feasible. It really wasn't. That being said, I hate that it's only auto-resolve. I think what they should do instead is make it so that when you engage an enemy fleet, you fight a regular land battle, you just fight, like, on an island. Like, that seems like the easiest system. Well, the thing about the lady is not what gives the Bretonnians magic. That's not how that works. The lady gives them blessings that, and she also has taught them arts that allow the damsels to be very resistant to magic. And she also is the one who teaches Bretonnian magic users, or at least the Fey Enchantress takes them to where they can learn it. But it's not that the lady gives the damsels magic. It's that they are already naturally born magic users, and she essentially has the Fey Enchantress take them into the forest when they're children. That way they can be taught how to use it in the way that the lady approves of, which is very similar to how elves use magic. Which, of course, leads more evidence to the canonical theory that the Lady of the Lake is, in fact, an elven goddess. Though, one of these days, I'm going to make my theory video on that, and I bet you guys are going to find it really interesting. I'm hoping I can pump out the video on the lady in the near future. I know I want to do, I would like to do, having a brain fart. I would like to do, oh, the elven gods first. Like the entire elven pantheon. Though I'll probably break the elven pantheon video into 2 pieces, where I'll do the heavenly gods and the underworld gods. I'll probably split them into 2 different groups, just for the sake of the video not being like a complete mess. But yeah. Land battles at sea wouldn't work with black... I mean, black arcs would obviously have to have a unique system. Like, they would have to have, like, either bonuses, and you would, like... Or the battle would take place on a black arc map. I don't think it would have been that hard, though. Like, it wouldn't have been that difficult. Do I think Ariel or the Sisters of Twilight will make it in? I hope so. CA seems to have kind of a thing right now for putting in more and more female lords, and those are the only 2 female lords you can really do for the Wood Elves. Well, I guess you could put in the Prophetess. Not the Prophetess, the, I forget what her name is. But like the head seer of Athel Loren, but I wouldn't be super excited to see her. I'd much rather have Ariel if they're going to go with a spellcasting character. Yeah, I really enjoyed Warhammer 2. I really wish Mortal Empires had not come out for like another 6 months, to be totally honest with you guys. Oh no, the Wood Elves are finished confederating. That means they're about to go on the war path. Ugh. People think Archaon is the end times, and they are wrong. It's the fucking Wood Elves. It's one of my options. Okay. Let's do more beer.
I must fulfill my Slayer oath.
Get out of here, Grimgore. Let's go actually sack it. I'll take it next turn. I can use the income. Let's see if I can ask Bretonnia to kill these rebels for me. Or not Bretonnia, Border Princes. Awesome. No, more money. I think if we save, then next turn we can afford the Hall of Oaths if we do this. So that'd be nice. Because that means I can actually get... God damn it, I forgot about the Thane again. Naiath the Prophetess, that's right. Drycha could be alright. Yeah, Drycha, in my opinion, would not be an awesome lord by herself. I think she would be a better, like, secondary lord for Durthu's faction. But, like, there are 2 other, you know, there are 2 other Wood Elf factions that could use legendary lords. And I would probably go with the Sisters of Twilight and, like, Ariel or something like that. Though Ariel would probably fit better in Orion's faction as well. The Sisters of Twilight, though, I think you could put in charge of Date's faction. I think they would do well over there. You can't use assassin trophies on Krell for some reason. It's probably because the game doesn't recognize him as a hero or a lord, or a character rather. It just recognizes him as a summon. That would be my guess. I think we will see Neferata eventually, yes. She's a character that's a lot of people are clamoring for, and I would not be surprised if she shows up eventually. Quite frankly, I'm still... Okay, that doesn't hurt me. I'm still really surprised she wasn't unveiled alongside the Tomb Kings. I'm still legitimately surprised about that. I thought for sure she was going to come out with the Tomb Kings.
Attack! Attacks!
But clearly, I don't know what I'm talking about. Hall of Oaths. Thank fucking God. Alright, looks like the Border Princes are indeed going to help me out. Ugh, Beckhoffen is so far away. It's like, where is it? Beckhoffen. Oops, no. It's so far away, and I have to rate it? Wait, I have a friendly disposition with the Norskins? That makes me sad. I hope the Empire can hold out until I can maybe send, like, a small force to help them. I doubt it, but I'm gonna try. It's gonna be like saving fucking Karak, Krakadrak all over again. Godrak and Felix should be their own faction. They just count as a 20 stack and they just always win. That'd be great. You play if you choose Gotrek and Felix as your faction, all of your battles are turned into like a first-person adventure game instead of being a strategy game. How does elven marriage and family work? It's not... Oh, man, I'd have to honestly make a whole video on elven culture to answer that question. Because it also depends on the elven faction. That's a super complicated question, actually. I don't think they're done with Total War Warhammer 1 related content, I should say. I don't think they're like not going to touch it ever again. That would be ridiculous.
Ask your favor, and I will check with the Demas Crom that you are worthy.
You are not worthy because you're Norskins. I'm a racist dwarf. Dynasty Warriors hack and slash, hell yeah. Shut up. Alright, we got the High King's authority, so we've got as much public order as we can get at this point. We need to do some more combat stuff. I would like to get more Thane buffs if I can. Actually, no, let's get marching songs. That way my armies are like super fast. Alright, he did indeed crush the rebellion, so that works out for us. Could put a ranger outpost there, but I think I would rather have money. Because I'm greedy. Alright, so we're gonna start forging our way towards Black Crag, I think. See, what have I unlocked? I've unlocked gyrocopters, iron drakes, and organ guns. Ooh. Trying to think if there's anything I want to drop. Kind of want another melee unit. But none of the super awesome ones are ready yet. Yeah, I think we're just going to march for Black Crag. Oh, the Rune Lord leveled up. That's awesome. Higher research rate. Whoop whoop. Alright, Gunbat is secure. We are finally getting somewhere. Alright, it looks like the Varg and the Vampire counts are starting to clash, which is actually really good for us, because that gives us a chance to fight back. Where is that Thane? Making his way up north. Making his way up north. Da, da, da. I'm not very good at improving words. That's something I need to work on. That way I can sing stupid songs. Because who doesn't like stupid songs? Jabberslythe and Gorgons we must get. I'm still advocating really hard for Tuskor chariots too. Like, I would really like for the Beastmen to get a cheap chariot. That like has an Ungor on the back with a shooting attack. That would be super nice for Beastmen in my opinion. Do I think we will see Nagash next Miss Lord add on what? Dominic, I do not think we will see Nagash as playable, no. At least not until the very, very end of the Total War trilogy. Well, yeah, of course a Wargore. And Doom Bulls and everything. Yeah, I tell you what, after seeing them pull off the Hell Pit Abomination, oh man, I would love to see them do a Jabberslythe, because I think they could really do it justice. The Jabberslythe is not nearly as complicated as the Hell Pit Abomination is. Like, I don't know if y'all have ever sat down and, like, gone into a quick battle and just looked, or not a quick battle, screw off vampires. I don't know if y'all have ever sat down and gone into like a custom battle and just like looked at the Hell Pit Abomination while it's sitting idle. Like just looked at all of the details going on, but that is a busy model. Yeah, but if we could get Tarux the Brass Bull with a Wargore hero and Gorgons, Jabberslythes, and Tuskor chariots, mwah, we'd be done. Alright, fine, I'll give you non-aggression because you're offering me money. And you seem to hate nothing but elves, and I also hate elves. Tilia's been busy this game. I guess Tilia might have accidentally got buffed in this patch, because look at that. They own a ton of stuff. Alright, let's go ahead and upgrade the Toolmaker's Guild Hall. And I'm going to pop into Iron Rock here. So I can recruit nothing. Awesome. Just what I wanted. That was sarcasm in case anyone couldn't tell. Alright, so we're going to bring our Thane over here. And I should be able to afford that engineer now, which I can. And I'm going to send him... gosh, I don't know where to send him. I almost think I should send him north. Alright, Grom Peak should be secure for a bit. I kind of want to chase off these guys. And then once they're chased off, oh, you know what? No, I just won't leave. That'll be the easier way. Because I want to upgrade the troops this guy has. Because I can afford it now. So let's get me some more Longbeards. Oh, I barely have any money. Poop. Damn it! My plan was already foiled. Yeah, that only affects local armies. Okay, so let's actually do Venerate the Ancestors so I can keep that vampiric corruption in check. Do you think they should give heroes more impactful mounts late game? Yeah, like, I would really like it if at, like, level, like, 25 or 30 to really reward you for getting those high-up heroes. You could unlock, like, a really interesting mount for heroes. That could be fun. Well, I should say for the relevant heroes. Like, a White King, for instance, I can't think of any really powerful, crazy mount he should have. But, like, an Empire Captain on a Demigryph, yeah, I could see it. Or like a Vampire on an Abyssal Terror. I could see that. I do wish that most, if not all, heroes and lords had like a powerful ability or something that they could unlock at like level 30 or 35. Just to really reward you for making it that high up. Do the Tomb Kings have diplomatic relations with living human realms? No, the Tomb Kings don't really have diplomatic relations with anybody. They don't like anybody. They don't even like each other. They're considered a neutral faction because they hate everyone. Alright, so I'm going to recruit... Why is this global recruitment? Oh, because of finances, that's why. Just another Longbeard unit's fine for me, honestly. Where the hell did that goblin go? Critical failure! Damn it! Ugh. This grudge is so hard to strike out. And the Greenskins are losing steam really fast, though. I think they are on their dying limbs. I want to wait another turn. Are there still some living people in Nehekara? No. Nehekara is a land of the dead, period. The Tomb Kings do not suffer the living. Didn't the Tomb Kings fight a demonic incursion alongside the High Elves? The Tomb Kings have fought alongside plenty of people in Warhammer history. Like, they fought alongside the Empire against Zacharias the Ever-Living. They've joined the High Elves and the Lizardmen. Like, they've fought alongside a bunch of people. They're just kind of dicks about everything. I'll check my Tomb King 8th edition's book, William, but I'm pretty sure Games Workshop retconned that. I don't think there's any more living people in Nehekara. Well, I guess Lich Priests are technically still living. That is technically true. So, yeah, Lich Priests are still alive. Despite how they look, they're not actually dead. Or, they're not undead. They're still alive. There's your fun fact for the day. They just don't look too good. Oh yeah, we can start getting the good stuff. Why cannot I not recruit like organ gun? Oh, cause I'm stupid. That's why. Derp. Let me grab that. Oh, sweet mother of iron. How diplomacy would be affected towards campaign regression to the major faction in the vortex? I don't know. We'll find out. Personally, I'm really glad the Tomb Kings are doing their own thing in the vortex campaign and not just like jumping on the vortex like everybody else, because that would just be ridiculous. Oh, look at those cute little vampires going for my my hold there. The Vortex campaign is already super busy, Vortex-wise. I'm glad the Tomb Kings are doing their own thing. How old is Heinrich Himmler? Also, if I could, how would I make him stronger? Honestly, so age-wise, Himmler's probably... I'd have to look at my books, but I think he's in the ballpark of like 100 or 200 years old. He's not ancient, but he's older than he looks. As for what would I do to make him stronger, I would just give him... well, first of all, I would make his Cloak of Mist and Shadows have a lower cooldown time. And I would also... like if he and other master necromancers had like a different skill that upped their defense a bit or their hit points, because like they're tougher than most wizards in tabletop. Well, most human wizards, like they're not strong, they're tough. Like they're harder to wound than average. Alright. I don't think I can make it to Gunbad without these two jerks jumping on me. And their armies are actually decently powerful. I think I should wait until they're on Gunbad and then engage. Alright, it's time to gear up for the big battle. See, yeah, the Greenskin Empire is pretty small now. What do I think about Ungrim's fate in the end times? I mean, dueling Archaon to the death was pretty fitting. I wish he had stayed the Incarnate of Fire for the entirety of it, and not just for a single book. That would have been nice. Being the Incarnate of Fire was apparently like a really bad thing, because both of the Incarnates of Fire got murdered fairly easily, which I thought was kind of annoying. But at the same, now that I say that, it also kind of reflects tabletop, and that the lore of Fire was kind of the shittiest lore, so I guess it did kind of make sense in kind of a depressing way. Generic Edgelord, what do you mean by immortal? Ungrim was not immortal in the end times. He just died. Gotrek was the one that was reborn as a god. And ended up coming back in Age of Sigmar. Of course, then he kind of died, but I think it's somewhat inferred that he might come back. I don't think Lord of Fire is bad. Fireball fucking hurts as a Lord snipe ability. Oh, it's raining. Great. That's going to make running errands today even more fun. Fuck me. It's raining and it's 35 degrees. Great! Just what I always wanted. Oh, they're raiding? Let's get the Scolder Guard and give me that gyro bomber. I will not stand by and let them raid my lands. Oh, this actually works out well. I get to catch them in the underway. Look at that army. That's a nice army. I'm gonna fuck it up. Alright, lads. Let's show them what for. Form the line. We will hold, damn it. We will hold. I love the Scolder Guard. They're such a fun unit. One group there, and one group there. Protect our flanks. Alright, come and get it, deadens. Alright, and we do want to focus our cannons on, where is it? Claw of Nagash. Well, let's put a couple shots into the Vargeise. Yeah, let's just... Oh, good shot. Alright, yeah, we're going to focus the Claw of Nagash, though, and see if we can take it down quickly. It's pretty susceptible to cannon fire. If I can get close to hitting it. Let's aim for the center of the army. I miss when cannons had an anti-large bonus like they do in Warhammer 1. Not sure why they got rid of it. I guess they considered it wasn't worth it, but kind of wish they'd put it back in. I still wish we had runic war machines as an option, so you could have like magic attack. Did he just go through that terrain? What? Focus the bats. Mow them down. Okay, I'm gonna go throw down a Rune of Wrath and Rune on these chill guys here, which will get rid of them in about 2 milliseconds. Could you actually hit this thing, please? Ah, fuck it. Kill it the old-fashioned way. Skulder Guard, mow him down. Bring it down. Boom. Reform the line. Bugger off. Steam him up. Focus down that mortis engine. We got some bombs to drop. Good shot. Fold in. Fold in. Man, talk about a slaughter. Jesus. Get him, Slayers. Good job. I wish Mazda Mundi wasn't quite so underwhelming in this game. What game have you been playing, Dacklemore? Mazda Mundi's fucking terrifying. Especially in campaign. Because in campaign you can get like stupid amounts of physical resist on him. But in multiplayer he's pretty fucking good. Like, his lore isn't amazing, but it's certainly not bad. And the Ruination of Cities stacked with his bounce spell is just ludicrous.
Master of Runecraft.
I think he's a fantastic character. Let's do dampening then. Alright. Good, good. That should mostly deal with our vampire. Get out of my lands! You're supposed to be raiding Varenka Hills, you jerks.
I am the Slayer King. I, with the axe of Dargo, demands blood.
Alright, Black Crag. I do not have any miners, so I'm actually going to need a battering ram.
My command is attack.
If we win, we take this. That should pretty much be the death of the Greenskin Empire. Oh, Grebgor's coming outside. No, he's gonna regret that. I don't think it's that CA thinks nobody likes Magic Legendary Lords. Because we actually have a good amount of Magic Legendary Lords. It's Magic Lords that we're missing. And I honestly think CA is scared of them. Like, CA has a hard time balancing them in their own opinion. But I mean, pretty much every faction got a Magic Lord. The only race that does not have a Magic Legendary Lord, quote unquote, is the dwarves. Because they haven't given us a legendary, they haven't given us Thoric Ironbrow yet. There we go. Let's fuck up some orcs. Yeah, they're probably going to be massing out on this side. Oop, can't forget the Slayers. Unfortunate for him that he came on the way he did, because I'm just going to absolutely massacre him. Especially with the Slayers in the back line. We're just massacring our way. Push them off! Push them off! About face! This will probably be a massacre. Cannon will take a beating, but it will survive.
axes! Attack! Cannon! Pump those dwarf legs! Move it out! Kill axe! Move! Axes out! Quartermass! To the terrors and doom!
Alright, I think we've pretty much got him. Should have stayed inside your citadel, Grimgor. You were safer there. Speaking of Grimgor, kill him! Alright, we'll just speed up time till Grimgor's dead. Ungrim or Grimgor, who's the baddest? In this particular campaign, Ungrim, obviously. Oh my god, Grimgor, just die! Alright, there we go. A heroic victory! Ba-da-da-da! Alright, well the good news is that's gonna lead that we cut the defenses of Blackcrag in half. And Grimgor's also out of the picture. If Ungrim and Grimgor were to fight in the lore, probably I'd go with Grimgor. Grimgor would probably beat Ungrim. We stole yet another other trickster shard. Yeah, the wood elves are starting to spread. Ugh, like the disease they are.
Welcome, friends of the Dowie.
No, I tried giving you a military alliance and you fucking messed it up. Orcs grow by winning fights, right? How large would Grimgor be? They don't really grow by winning fights, they kind of just grow by aging. Which kind of infers winning a lot of fights. Yeah, I have to defeat Gorst. Yeah, it's not so much that like fighting makes them larger as it is that they just kind of grow larger over time, but orcs can't help but keep fighting. I don't know if that makes sense. Oof, still has a pretty solid defense, all things considered. Would I recommend the Wood Elf novels? The Orion series isn't too bad. It's a bit odd, but it's not bad. Because it's not like about Orion when he was happy and good. It's about Orion when he went like batshit crazy. Okay, so the goblins reappeared. Alright, let's grab Retainer's Vows. Oh, tell Nikki I said hi, Izzy.
Welcome, friends of the Dowie.
Ah! That might be a bit much. The Liber Noctis. Let's go ahead and fall back. Oh good, I've got him right where I want him. It's about to be a Vampire Count barbecue up here. Alright, well listen guys, for those of you who have stuck around, I do want to wish you all Merry Christmas. I will probably stream on Christmas in the evening, but if I do, I'll put out a video on Sunday about that. I definitely won't stream this weekend, but if I don't happen to catch you before Christmas, or until after Christmas, I do want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. I hope you all have a fantastic day, whatever it is you're doing, opening presents or hanging out with loved ones or what have you. I hope you all are taking good care of yourselves, and I hope you get everything you wanted from Santa or what have you, and all that good, sweet jazz. Oh man, this is about to be a bloody massacre, and it's going to be beautiful. Let's start with this. Let's start with this fellow. And whack. This one I actually have to fight. Well, thank you whoever just subbed. Oh, yes! It's a choke point battle, which means I have a huge advantage. And I promise I will get that custom emote figured out this weekend. I'll talk to Turin so he can make sure I do it right. Let's do that. And then do that. And then we're just gonna bum rush. So yeah, he's gonna probably come mostly through here. Alright, we're just gonna bum rush as best we can. We'll have these guys hold this side. And then I'm gonna send you guys this way with them. And I'll send you guys to the main way. Alright. It's ass kicking time. Hustle! The tithe. I could not care less about shooting the tithe. Alright, as soon as those jerks get into range, just rip it. It's not where I told you to go. There you go. Oh, you're already here. I'm gonna go ahead and start harassing these fellows. I love when slayers have a good hustle. This is a nice big pit, isn't it? Yes, please stand in a straight line for me so I can just kill you all without even having to try. Wow, not a single one of them dropped from that initial volley. That's actually really impressive. Not so lucky that time. Oops. We need to block the Skulldra guard there. Hold! Forward! That's weird. It shows their leadership at max despite the fact they're at like minus 14. Huh. Good job, Rune Lord. Come here, Reinhardt. I'm gonna teach you a thing or two. You guys gonna shoot? Whack. I think I just vaporized a good amount of my own guys. You wish Chloe a Merry Christmas? I'll be sure to tell her. She may just be a dog, but I'm sure she'll appreciate it. Good shot. Alright, that's another undead army down. All that's left is Gorst. Oh, hey, question. Did I get the collector's edition for Warhammer 2? Yes, I have the collector's edition for both Warhammer 1 and 2. Because I love these games, and so I was more than happy to pay the highest price I could to support the developers. And also, I wanted all the pretty little trinkets. Though, I lost my grudge ring from the first collector's edition, so I need to, like, find somebody who's willing to sell it to me, because I really liked that ring, and I fucking lost it because I'm an idiot. Armor of Fortune. That's nice. Alright. Lord of the Deeps would be good. Let's go ahead and grab Obstinacy.
What do you want?
Come here, Gorst. One final beatdown. Right, the good news is this will shatter any hope the undead have of taking our mountains from us for quite a bit. He's hiding way over in the corner. What a coward. Let's actually put Norgumly's Ironbreakers out here to see if I can lure him in. They can take a beating, they'll be fine. War of Vengeance. Alright, let's just pick a target and get moving. Follow-up question. The USB for Warhammer 2, what does it contain? It has a bunch of black library books on it. I haven't actually looked at it. I have it on my keychain because it looks really cool, and it's probably my favorite part of the collector's edition, but I haven't actually plugged it into a computer. Could y'all hustle a little more? By all means, Felbats, dive in on my slayers.
Understood, Lord. Nothing can stop us. I know. Yes, yes. Right. Cattle. Killers. Vengeance. Iron will. I will do it. Dull. Killers. Find your targets.
Let's see.
War of vengeance! Ricky! At once! Armed and ready! For mountain and home! All warriors! Rage fast! Rage fast! Take them down! Now I'm... We demand blood! Pick your targets well! Dive bomb! Battle ready! Lord of Van Morgrim! Iron breakers! Iron drakes! Yes, Lord! Runes of power!
Get out of here, Gorse. Nobody likes you. Do necromancers eat, or do they just consume unholy magic? I think they could sustain themselves off magic alone if they were really desperate, but they are alive, so they do need to, like, perform normal biological functions. All right. The undead are finally out of my mountains. For the first time in an age. Well, at least part of my mountains anyway.
My anger burns bright.
Alright, where is Ungrim? There he is.
Attack!
Oh, right, the Slayer count counts as armor, which is, I always found kind of funny. Alright, so you get the Armor of Fortune. Hooray! Ba-da-da-da. Nothing like a solid upgrade. Don't fail, don't fail. Damn it! Why do you suck? Why do you do this to me? Alright, we're not going to attack Black Crag just yet, because I still need more stuff. Alright, I think we're actually going to call it there for today, because I got to get going to run some last minute errands. I do appreciate you all joining me for this week. We have done a lot of streaming this week, about a little less than 20 hours I think of streaming. So once again, I appreciate you all for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. And I will see you guys next week. If I am going to do a Christmas stream, I'll put an announcement out on the channel. I'm hoping I'll have some like actual videos out this weekend, like 1 or 2. Probably one that'll be an update on some Tomb King info, and then maybe a lore video. So, well, we'll see. But in any event, I hope you all have a great weekend, a great Christmas, and you take care of yourselves. And if you live somewhere that's very cold, you stay warm and safe. So thank you all so much for joining me. I will see you probably Monday evening, and if not, definitely Tuesday. So take care of yourselves. Bye.